uh, the folk arts that I could display with, which I fusion with the African animals. You should never pressure an animal to the point of distress.
An artist and a passionate nature and wildlife photographer, Reema Sinha is our guest for the day. She's based in Nairobi, Kenya, and will be talking to us about Africa, the most beautiful continent according to her. Welcome, Reema, to Oli Green.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Abhi. I really feel grateful and glad that you gave me this platform to speak about my passion and my photography and yeah, everything about wildlife. Thank you so much. I really appreciate.
Okay. Can you give us a brief about your background? And you had mentioned that in your profile, you had mentioned that you're a passionate art lover too. Can you give us a
Yes.
background on how, from arts, how did you move to the passion in wildlife photography?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I'm from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand, the steel city, one of the steel city in India. And I did my post graduation in economics, but it was out of the social pressure that I studied economics. But I was always passionate about art and art related things. So, out of passion, I self taught myself art, and I even did three exhibitions in Nairobi, which highlighted the folk art of India, the mural paintings, the gone paintings, all uh, the folk arts that I could display with, which I fusion with the African animals. So yeah, so that's how my art, when my art career is going through in Kenya. And 8 years back, I moved to Africa. My first country was Tanzania. And in Tanzania, when I went to Serengeti and Ngorongoro National Park, that time I really got passionate about wildlife. That intrigued me so much that I was like, I have to do something about it. So then I thought, okay, let me take photography if I can. So and yes, I then got into photography. Yeah.
Okay. Being in Africa, African countries are sort of a dream destination for any wildlife photographer. And
Yeah.
you are in the thick of it. I mean, in Africa,
Yes.
enjoying the fun totally. Why do you call
Yes.
Africa as the most beautiful planet?
Uh, it's the most beautiful continent, I would say, because people are still very much connected to nature here. They pray nature, and everything in their custom and the rituals they follow. It has something or the other to do with the nature and the ecology they live in. So yes, and Africa has some unsurpassed natural wonders. All good national parks we have here in Africa. Then we have dramatic coastlines all over West Africa and East Africa, and amazing wildlife area, as I said, and luscious forest all over. I mean, nature is at its best in Africa. Untouched nature, yes.
Okay. Being in two countries now, Tanzania and now in Kenya, can you tell us maybe about
Yes.
one or two of your memorable experiences in the wildlife photography trips?
Yeah, so in Tanzania, I went to Serengeti and Ngorongoro National Park and Tarangire National Park, and there's another Mikumi National Park. Actually, we have seven national parks in Tanzania, though it's a very small country, but still it has seven national parks. And the most fascinating that I found was Ngorongoro National Park because it's a crater and a natural made crater, and it was believed that some asteroid or something hit that place and that crater is formed out of that, and you can see all the animals within the vicinity with inside that crater and in good harmony. It's not like there is a chaos of some kind, but and you will see a predator and a gazelle drinking water together from the same water body. So that was something very fascinating about Gorongoro. And yes, in Kenya, we have Amboseli National Park, Masai Mara, then Tsavo National Park. So basically, Amboseli is also a very unique place with a backdrop of Mount Kilimanjaro, which is another very unique feature of Amboseli. And you will find lots of big herds of elephants, and long tuskers. They have really beautiful picturesque background all over Amboseli. It's very green. And then Masai Mara, as you know, it's one of the seven wonders of the world. And it's again a very unique place. You have savanna grassland and huge number of animals, uh, be it lion, gazelle, zebra, leopard, cheetahs, whatever, and they are all in good harmony as a jungle functions that way. It's a beautiful place to be in. And then you have Sava National Park, which was once famous for its man-hunting lion that killed around 135 people. But I'm talking about 19th century. But it is also a very unique place because the soil there is very red in color. So that reddish soil gives the elephants over there a very red color of skin, which is again a very unique feature.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, if you really look at it, people from different parts of the world, wildlife enthusiasts are flocking to Africa. What will
Yes.
be your maybe I would not call it as an advice, your suggestion to them in terms of what is the right time to visit there, which are the places to visit there, and what are the basic ethics to be followed when you are in Africa as a wildlife photographer?
Yes. Visiting time, I would say all the year round, it's very good weather in Kenya. So it's not that you cannot visit in certain months, you shouldn't come, or things like it's not like that. You can come all through the year, but yes, there are specific times as like some photographers want, sorry, rainy season shots. So they prefer coming in the month of April and May because it's rainy season over here. And some want to come when Mara is a little lushy green rather than dry. So you can come around October, December, January, and the most important time in Mara is the Great Migration. And millions and millions of wildebeest, they cross Mara River. It's a lifetime event to watch. That happens from end of July to September first week. So that's the peak time in Mara, though. But all through the year you can visit. And there are other places in Africa. As I said, in Tanzania, you have 7 national parks. Then in Zambia, you have Zambezi National Park, which is another very beautiful wildlife park. Then my most sorted is Namibia. It is very beautiful, very unique place to go, especially the Etosha National Park and Skeleton Coastline. It's a very unique thing in Namibia. And yeah, these are the few places. I mean, many people only know about Masai Mara. If you talk about wildlife, they will only say Masai Mara. No, Masai Mara is not the only place in Africa. There are n number of national parks which have other unique features in them. Like it's not only Masai Mara in Africa. And ethics, I would say the most important ethic that should be followed by any photographer or wildlife enthusiast is you should never pressure an animal to the point of distress in a in a hope of taking a picture, like, oh, I have to take the shot, I have to take. Don't do that. If you do that, you won't get a good shot ever, because you are disturbing the ecology of that animal by making sound, or by even they sense your anxiousness or your excitement. So animals get disturbed by that. So the basic ethic is that you should follow the ecology of the wildlife. Yeah, you should know that, okay, we are in their nature, they are not in ours. So you should respect that thing. The most important thing, I believe, that respect the wildlife. They will give you good shots. Be patient.
Very correctly said, very, I mean, interestingly said. Now, I mean, if we really
Yeah.
look at it, I mean, wildlife photography requires a longer period in the wilderness, which earlier
Yes.
was male dominated. field, right? So it is a niche which is
Hmm.
mostly done by male photographers. Now
Yes,
you see the
yes,
social media sites and all. We're seeing a lot of ladies coming into this particular field. So, what is your take
yes.
on what are the advantages or maybe the challenges that a lady faces doing this wildlife photography, being in the wilderness for long?
See, if a lady is into wildlife photography, then definitely she has made her mind to be a photographer, a wildlife photographer. So I don't feel anything would challenge her to get into the field once she has made her mind up. And advantages, yes, definitely we have advantage that very few women are into this field. And if you want to make your name into this field, then definitely you have a more broader span to to explore and to make yourself evident in this field. But yes, you have to work hard for it, and you have to be unique in your work, in your photography. And it's not just photography, you have to understand nature also. It's not always like I'm a photographer and I'm going to the nature to take a photo only. No, first you respect the nature. I feel that very important too.
So, you
And
have not felt
I don't
any.
feel there it's a challenge for women.
Okay,
No. And
okay,
yeah, staying in wilderness for a long time. I mean, all the wildlife's here, all the wildlife, I mean, all the national parks over here in Africa, they have good resorts and good camps to stay in. And you can stay as many days as you want. There won't be any sort of problem. They take good care of you. You have good vehicles to go around the park. Yes, but you have to maintain the decorum of the place. That's most important.
okay. That's interesting. I mean, if there is a message that you want to convey to our, because in our channel we talk about Only Green is all about making the world a greener place. So, if there is a message that you want
Yes.
to give to our viewers, what could be that?
Uh, Message would be like I love being in nature. So you know, and I am into photography because I love the nature of the wildlife. They how well they are synced in their wildlife. I mean, nobody kills unnecessarily. If a lion is hungry, then only he will go and hunt. He won't kill people just I mean, sorry, the animals just for fun. So that's a very interesting or a very important thing wildlife teaches
The
us to be
fundamental
in
law of nature.
fundamental law of nature. Yes. So yeah, if we should learn that from animals rather than we feel as if we human we are very superior, but I don't feel. When I go to wild, I really feel no, I have nothing in front of them when it comes to abiding by nature or the ecology.
So, what you're
Yeah.
saying is
So I feel
give
that
space.
one must understand nature.
Okay, give space to
Sorry.
coexistence. Coexist with all
Yes,
the
I mean
species around.
nature has given yes, nature has given us in abundance. We humans are very greedy. And when nature has given in abundance, we have to try to endure it rather than being greedy. We should endure the whole natural process of this wildlife and our ecology and ecosystem. Yes.
Okay, thanks a lot, Reema. It's been great talking to you. I mean, your experiences in Africa and giving a
And
different perspective altogether regarding Africa. Thank you and
thank
wishing
you
you
so
all the
much.
very
It was
best.
lovely talking to you. Thank you.